Welcome back. I'm here with Dr. Beals, who's with Delta State University, and you do counseling. Is that correct?
I am. I'm a counselor educator at Delta State and have a private practice too.
Okay, and the reason we wanted to have you on the show is because, you know, January is kind of a trying time. The holidays are over. People are starting the new year, maybe making those New Year's resolutions and not living up to them. What would you say to someone who's kind of grappling with that issue?
You know, it is hard, and this year, because of the weather, things got out of rhythm really quickly.
That's true.
So you are even more apt not to have maintained what you thought you were going to do. And I think the first thing that we need to realize is that a New Year's resolution is not a promise. When we were little, we were taught never break a promise, and if we broke a promise, we were bad. Well, the reality is that a New Year's resolution is a great intention, and you're very smart for making one. So you have to be willing to renew that resolution every day, that good intention every day.
And not to beat yourself up if you have a bad day or a bad week.
Absolutely not. Not talking bad about ourselves is a common thing that we work with in counseling, actually, is helping people talk better to themselves. And
do you find in your profession that you meet people with seasonal depressions or seasonal issues? Is that something that comes up in January?
That can happen. People stay indoors more if they're outdoor people. The cold weather tends to really impact people a lot, and they are starving for it. And that's another time to really, again, be nice to yourself. I love the fact that you mentioned that today is National Hugs Day.
Yes, I love that.
There's a real benefit to that, and I was glad to see that. What an auspicious day, Martin Luther King, the inauguration, and hugs. Hugs actually do make a difference. You had a statistic.
Yeah, I heard it was 4 to 6 hugs a day is good.
Yeah, and I actually bumped that up to about 10.
Well, Jonathan and I are joking. We're like, that's a lot of hugs, and I told him, your dog doesn't count. You can't just hug your dog.
Well, maybe it can.
It does?
Maybe it can count. But, you know, I think what is important is that it's hard to stay mad at people that we hug regularly. And there's probably some people in our lives that we should touch more. That human touch is very important. And doing it makes a better connection. It lowers our blood pressure.
Very interesting.
It's very healthy for us.
So there are a lot of health benefits to just something as simple as hugging.
Yeah, Lucy, but just make sure that you always ask somebody before you touch them.
That is true.
It's a good idea if you've never hugged someone to offer a hug with, you know, can I offer you a hug? Can I give you a hug?
So you shouldn't just be attacking people you see on the streets.
Right,
all right. That is good advice. I don't want anyone to get arrested based on this interview.
Yeah. And maybe even like Shrek and Donkey, occasionally look at someone and say, I need a hug. It is a good way to get started with someone.
And I think that basically the point that you're saying is the small little changes every day can really add to your happiness and your mental health. And what's one last piece of advice that you would want to give to someone who's just trying to be a little bit happier in the new year?
I would say whatever it is that you want to do, break it down into an easy behavior. For instance, like losing weight. That's a big general thing. But if I say I'm going to move 10 minutes more every day, then you have something that you can measure and you can do, and you can stop and feel proud of and give yourself a hug.
Yeah, that's great. Well, thank you so much for coming on. Again,
My
Dr. Beals is with Delta State, and great advice about, you know, staying happy in the new year. We'll be right back.